Hi everybody, it's Jenna from Jenna Stitches. Today is Sunday, December 11th. And the only reason I know that is because I do know it's my dad's birthday tomorrow, and his birthday is on the 12th. And my husband's is in 7 days, so kind of figured it out. So it is a weekly progress video. So I want to say welcome to all my new subscribers. I know I've gotten quite a few in the last week or so. So welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate it. To all my returning subscribers, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate all the support I've been getting from everybody. So I'm glad you all are here, and thank you so much. Today is my weekly progress video. I don't know if I already said that, but I actually got, and I know you're probably sick of hearing this, a lot done this week. I don't know how, to be honest. I know, and I've explained this quite a bit. I feel like I'm yelling, so I'm sorry if my voice is really loud in this video. But I know I've explained quite a bit that with my job, I can pretty much crochet all day and still do my job at the same time. And that's kind of how this week went. So I really feel like that's why I got so much done. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at work, I was just sitting in on a training to learn it myself. I wasn't actually training it. So I do that with a lot of our new programs or new things that we're learning. I'll sit in with the trainer to learn it myself. That way, if we need anybody else in that position in the future, I'm the one who will train it. So I pretty much just sit there and listen, take notes when I need to, and things like that. So it does leave me quite a bit of time throughout the day to crochet, which is really how I got everything done this week. But I was able to get done everything I wanted to get done and then more. So I want to start out first with a little bit of happy mail. So I did get a card in the mail from Patricia, the Yarny Cat Crochet, at Yarny Cat Crochet. So she sent me this beautiful, beautiful card. Hold on one second. What?
Can I get a zipper roll?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks.
Sorry. So there it is. Thank you so much, Patricia. I love it. It has been hanging on my fridge since I got it. So thank you for that. But I did finish all the Christmas presents I was planning on making. So I think last week's weekly progress, I did say that I was going to make a bag for my grandma and a hat for my dad, my brother, and my grandpa. So I got all those done. So I'll show you the bag for my grandma first, which I'm really, really happy with the way this turned out. So here it is. Oh, it smells really good too. And then it's got a long strap on it. So when I do these sunflower bags, I usually do a cream for the border of it. And I didn't have any, and I think I even mentioned in one of my videos that I was going to go to Hobby Lobby. And the plan was to grab the cream at the Hobby Lobby. But I didn't really want to go, to be honest. And Hobby Lobby is about 45 to 55 minutes in both directions. And to go out there just to get some cream, cotton.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Didn't really want to do it. And I was going to have my mom go with me, but she wasn't feeling too good. And it just, neither of us really wanted to go. So I picked out the closest color, or not the closest color, but the color I had the most of, and I love this cotton. Happened to be this, because last year, or just this past summer, I should say, at their yearly clearance they do, I got a lot of I Love This Cotton, and a lot of their sugar wheel cottons. And I tried it with a gray sugar wheel first, and the sugar wheel and the I Love This Cotton just don't really go too well together. The sugar wheel is a lot shinier, and it is thinner compared to the I Love This Cotton, so it didn't really look too good. So I went with the blue, and I love it. This took me about a day and a half to make. Once I get going on them, they really don't take me too long at all. I think the strap takes me longer than anything. But the pattern is super, super easy. I'll see if I can find it, and I'll link it down below. I don't really even need to follow it anymore, but the square looks funny. don't know what I did there, but I forgot what I was saying. The pattern's really easy. I'll link it down below. I don't really have to follow it anymore, so I pulled it up just to like double check that I had it right, and then I just went with it. But there you go. So that will get wrapped up and sent to my grandma sometime this week. And then this is the hat I made for my grandpa. I still got to weave in my end, but there is that. This was made out of the ice creams roving in Chuckles? No, Razzles. Pretty sure this one's Razzles. I could be wrong. But that did finish up the skein I had of this color. I think there was just a little tiny bit left, if any, to be honest. And this is a pattern by Crystal at Bag O' Day, but I don't remember what it was. I used 2 different patterns for these hats I made. I'll link it down below. I'll remember it if I see it, but I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. And then I used the same pattern for the hat I made for my dad. So this is that one. I want to say it's like fallen leaves or something. But there is my dad's hat, and this was just out of Big Twist in aquamarine. I don't know, it's right here somewhere. Sapphire. Really? That is not sapphire to me. Isn't sapphire a deep blue? That's like a tealy color to me. But that is what I used. And then I made my brother's hat, which is also another Bag O' Day pattern, but it's a different one. Oh, this is the chocolate bonbon beanie that I made his out of. And this is made out of the Wander yarn by Furls. And I did not have enough to put the very last row on, so I added just some, I think it's a paint box Aran yarn to make it, to finish it off, which I think it looks fine, to be honest, even though it's just that one row. Or actually, I think there's 2 rows of single crochet there. I think it came out okay. I might, and my husband said no, but I might go and add a couple more rounds of single crochet just to give it a little bit more of the light blue and to make it a little bit longer, because to me it seemed kind of short. But my husband tried it on and said it was perfect and not to add to it, so I don't know what I'm gonna do there yet. But you can see like the difference in height between the two. This one is wider than this one, but this one is definitely taller. So those are the 3 hats I made for them and my grandma's bag. Then I was supposed to go to a work party on Friday, and I didn't end up going. But the 2 supervisors that were going to be at the work party had gotten me a Christmas gift, and I wanted to give them one as well. And one of them I was going to give a shawl that I have already made, and I'm still going to give it to them. I just got to bag it up and take it to work now since I didn't make it to the Christmas party. But the other one, I didn't really think she would like a shawl. So I really quickly, and I think this took me about a day altogether, made her a hat and cowl set. This is the same pattern I used on my dad's hat and my grandpa's hat. It's got to be the fallen leaves, because I know I used fallen leaves and now that I remember looking at it again, the chocolate bonbon. So I could be wrong. Again, I will link it down below, but I'm pretty sure it's the fallen leaves. So this is the hat I made for one of my coworkers. This is Karen Cake Marble Cakes in the colorway Toasted Almond, I want to say. I could be completely wrong. And I don't have any of it left, so I don't know. But there is that. And then I used the same cake to make the cowl, and it used all different colors. So they match in the way that they look similar, but they don't have any of the same colors in it except for this color right here. But the scarf got all the darker reds and stuff in it, or the cowl, whatever you want to call it. So there's the cowl. And the cowl in the lighter parts, you can see the pattern very, very well, but in the darker parts, it just kind of looks marbled, and I messed up on my post stitches there. I think I did them backwards quite a few times, but again, you can't really tell, to be honest, and if you're not like an avid crocheter, you wouldn't even know. You'd think the pattern was supposed to be like that. So there is her cowl. So those are finished. And those are all the finishes I got this week. So I made the 4 hats and the bag. Then when I got done with all of those, I kind of was just deciding what to do next. And just last week I posted a ice yarns haul, and I had mentioned with the Picasso yarn that I wanted to make the lantern motif thing that Crystal from Bag O' Day had made recently. She made a tutorial for, and I wanted to make mine into a blanket, and I started it to see how I would like it. I honestly don't know how I'm feeling about it yet. Hers looks so much prettier. And I don't know if it's because they might need to be blocked because they do curl quite a bit, but I don't know. It just doesn't look as good to me as hers do. So I think I might keep going. It's a very simple pattern. It honestly worked up pretty fast, and they were fun to make. I just don't know if I really like the look of it now that they're made. I don't know. So we'll see. I might continue on with it. Maybe let me know in the comments what you think. I was thinking about getting a third one made and attaching it just to see if that would help me see the finished picture more. Because I think that might be what's bugging me too, is I don't really know how it's going to look with all uneven edges and things like that if I were to make it into a blanket. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about them yet. So I might frog that and make it into the spiral granny blanket by Krista at the Secret Yarnery like I wanted to when I bought the yarn, or I might keep going. I'm not really sure yet, but there's those. And then I think that puts me into like Friday. No, it would have been yesterday, or Friday night. I don't know. Again, everything that I was working on was finished besides the 3 blankets I have been working on. So I did pull out the squares for my Latte Granny square blanket I've been making. And something in my mind decided to start putting the granny squares together to see how big this blanket was going to be. And I'm really glad I did that because I definitely overshot how many I needed. I don't know. It might not be quite queen size, which is what I was going for, which is fine if it's not. And I didn't really factor in the putting a white border around the squares or the fact that I'm going to border the blanket either, which is going to make it larger as well. So I ended up putting, just attaching the squares together across what would be the top of the blanket till I got to a length where I thought it was good. And it ended up being 8 across, which honestly is a bit too big as well, but I think it's going to be good once it's done. It's going to be nice and large, which is what I was looking for. So 7 seemed completely fine. I can wrap around it and then some, and I'm sure, I'll be able to wrap up even more in it soon. But I went with 8, and I think it's going to end up being 8 across and 8 down. So instead of needing 111, or was it 110? 111, I think. Like I originally thought, I'm only going to need 64. And because of that, I already had 39 made before I picked it back up. So I only had 15 more to make. God, I couldn't think for a second. 25 more, not 15. 25 more to make. So I kind of had to pull out the, like, pattern. It's not a pattern, but, and kind of rework it and figure out how many of each color I needed, because I had it all figured out that with these 12 colors, I had technically only 11 colors because one of them I didn't have enough. I would need 10 of each color to make the 111 squares. So with going to 64 instead of 111, I need a lot less. So I ended up kind of eliminating, and again, this is all a work in progress, so I don't know if it will stay this way, but I ended up eliminating the colors that had a lot of gray in them, because if you've watched the previous videos of the squares I've showed, a lot of the latte cakes have gray in them. Whether the base color of it is green, like the olive mint, or pretty plum. What other one had a lot of kissy kissy? All three of those, and there's a few others, have a lot of gray in them, even though they have like the base color of green or purple or pink if it's the kissy kissy. So I tried to eliminate the ones that had that, because I have a lot of squares that are just gray. So I picked out 5 of the colors that are mainly colors, like the red macaroon is red and like a brownish color, or the velvet teal is all blues and greens. There's no gray in it at all. So I picked out those colors, and the blueberry too, and I'm gonna do that instead. So I eliminated sugar pearls. That's the one that's like all black and gray. I eliminated blackberry, which I don't even know where my blackberry is. I think it is mainly like purple, but it's a dark purple. So blackberry might have been okay. And I might choose that over one of the other colors still. I'm not sure. And then I took out plum fresh, which plum fresh would have been fine. It's purples, pinks, and whites, I believe. So there's really no gray in it, and I wouldn't have any solid gray squares coming out of that. But the ones I went with instead are buttered cookies, which is yellow and a grayish color, but I'm going to cut the gray out of it. And actually, it's up here. I just piled all my projects in here, but it shouldn't be that hard to dig to get to it. So here's buttered cookies. So I could cut like this center color out, even though really it's more brown than gray, but just go for the light yellow and the regular yellow within that, because I really like the yellow, so I want to get some of that in there. And I'm going to make 5 of those, and then 5 of iced leaves. And this is the one I might exchange for blackberry, because there's white, there's gray, and then there's the green and blue. But if I take out the white and gray and just do the green and blue, it's almost identical to the velvet teal. So I might take this one out. I haven't made any extra of this yet. I just have the one square. From when I first started it, I made a square in each color. So I might take this one out and exchange it for blackberry, but I'm not sure yet. And then I had red macaroon, which I already finished all 5 of those. I'm working on the velvet teals. I have one done. And then I finished all the blueberry. And then I did, before I decided to put them together and see how it would look, I made all the pretty plum ones too. So here are the blueberry squares. So I figured I would need 5 of each instead of 10 like I originally had planned. So this one's really probably my favorite. So these are all in the colorway blueberry. So there's 5 of those. Here is the 10 pretty plums. So as you can see, it's just gray. Just gray. this one is gray and purple. I really like that one. Gray and purple again. Gray and purple again. Just grays. Just grays with a very little bit of purple. Almost all purple with a little bit of gray. And this one is all gray. So those are all the pretty plums I made that will get added on. Here are the 5 red macaroons, which honestly is probably one of my favorite latte cakes, which is weird because I'm not a fan of red at all, but I just love this one. I like this one too because it came out all brown. There's that one, came out all red. Got a mixture of the red and brown here, and that one. And then I did finish one velvet teal, and I got a couple more stitches to go on the second one before I'm gonna end that. So that is the plan for the blanket, and where I'm sitting I'm not really going to be able to show you the whole blanket because, again, even doing 8x8, it is huge. But I have done 2 full rows, so I went around each square with a single crochet border of the white, and let's just do it this way. So I weaved in most of my ends, but I still have some hanging there. But so there is a cross, and then I did attach the 8 down just to kind of see what the length would be. And actually, now that I remember, I did that, and showing it, it's good. 8 and 8. 8 across, 8 down is going to be the perfect size. So that should be done probably this week. I would say if not Tuesday, by Wednesday, because if I can get the 5 velvet teals done tonight, then I only have 10 more squares to make before all the squares are done, and then I would just have to border them all and attach them all together. So I think for the next couple of days this is going to be the project I work on, because now that I have them attached together and I'm almost done making the squares, I kind of want to get it done. Plus I kind of finished all the Christmas presents I needed to make. I still need to make one more thing, but it's technically not a Christmas present. It's the Wild Oleander hooded cowl for my cousin, but she paid for the yarn, so it's not a Christmas present, but I do want to get it done before I see her for Christmas so that I can give it to her. But those are really the only things I have planned to actually work on this week, is that and getting this blanket done. So that is everything I worked on this week, and kind of a preview of what my next week is going to look like. So I hope everybody has had a great week. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I hope everybody's not as depressed about it being Monday tomorrow as much as I am. I'm just so burnt out with work lately. I cannot wait to get these next 2 weeks done so that I can have a nice 11 days off. I definitely really need it. So it shouldn't be too bad of a week. And once I start working, I'm always fine. It's just the thought of going back to work tomorrow is a drag. But I hope everybody had a great weekend, and I'm going to end this video because it's becoming very long. So I'll talk to you all a bit later. Bye.